everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Daily Scuba News. So, scuba diver and maritime historian buff Bernie Hellstrom, brilliant name, was shipwreck hunting near Beaver Island just north of Michigan 10 years ago, when his depth sensor on his boat pinged a large obstruction which was about 61 metres below sea level. Happy to find any shipwreck, Bernie always keeps his depth sensor on, and this blip was larger than usual. This piqued his interest.
Yeah, so usually these pings are just shoals of fish, but actually fast forward to this year, 2019, and Bernie returned to the site where he originally pinged the large obstruction, and it was still there. So he had, in the meantime, built a custom-made camera rig system, and he dove down to 61 metres to finally figure out what this obstruction was, and that's when he discovered the shipwrecks of the Peshtigo and the St. Andrews. So these two ships collided back in 1878, and it was originally believed that they sank in the Straits of Mackinac in Lake Huron, mainly because someone had falsely already claimed to have discovered them in St. Andrews, but they never found the Peshtigo nearby or the actual St. Andrews. They just found a shipwreck and just went, must be the St. Andrews.
Because Bernie had found the two shipwrecks side by side with one huge gash down the side, it was pretty easy to identify the wrecks. Once news broke out about the shipwrecks, marine historian Brendan Bayloyd cracked open the history records just to check that this could in fact be the two missing ships. And yes, as it turns out, records strongly point to the two colliding near Beaver Island rather than further east in Lake Huron. So nice find, Bernie.
Yeah, so history books are actually good for something. So anyway, now the shipwrecks have actually been marked on a map. We actually have two new shipwrecks to explore. That is unless you're a recreational level diver, obviously, because they're 61 metres down. It's quite deep. You are bang out of luck there. But hey, it's all good news, and they're actually amazing, stunning images that are appearing of these two ships coming out, showing that they're actually in pretty good nick. Everything that kind of sinks in the Great Lakes seems to be in good nick because it's cold and it's fresh water. But hey, if you're in the area and you've got the right ticket, then why not go check it out? And of course, now the research begins to work out what that third shipwreck was that they found earlier on in Mackinac. Anyway, do you know what it was? Do you live anywhere near Beaver Island? I think there's like a visitor centre on... It's like an entire village on Beaver Island. It looks tiny on the map, but yeah, people actually live on it. Are you one of them? Anyway, are you excited about these two newly found shipwrecks? Let us have a chat in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then why not give it a like? Smash on that little bell icon as well. That does some very clever stuff nowadays. And of course, subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.
You'll never see me again because I'm rubbish.
Yeah, so an unconfirmed report states that there were actually two deaths that weekend in the area. One diver on the Friday on the nearby wreck of the Peshtigo at 75 metres, and Tim on the Sunday diving the Britannic at a depth of around 125 metres. But this information is unconfirmed.